Hello, I'm Dr. Francis de Kangchon. My friends call me Doc Junji. I am the CEO and the Medical Director of Asian Center for Ageless Beauty. I have been in practice for years. I finished my med school in the 80s pa. I graduated from UST. I have been awarded one of the Toast Awardees, 10 outstanding scientists because of my professional practice of medicine. Specialty or my line of practice is mostly in aesthetics and wellness. In aesthetics, of course, making people beautiful, one face at a time. And I have more interest in wellness, which really is all about keeping you healthy and enjoying life. So basically, I have been doing stem cell therapy the past 2 years. More seriously, starting 2010, 2009, 2010, when I started to learn more techniques of how to separate stem cells from fat cells. Because years before that, I would be doing a lot of liposuction and making people more fit, making people more sculpted, and giving them back their confidence, their self-esteem, and then just throw away fats. Later, as I go around doing a lot of sharing my knowledge in Asia, even in Europe, I learned that stem cell therapy was very much practiced in these countries. And therefore, I was so inspired. And at this time, they were doing a lot of fat stem cell collection and giving it back, or re-injecting it to patients. I did a lot of studies and research on this. And finally, machines that came out were very updated in a way that fat could be separated and thrown away, and the stem cells they had were very much live stem cells in SVF, or stromal vascular fraction, were being injected. This, I saw the effect. And I was so inspired doing research therapy on SVF and stem cells. This is where I enjoy doing it, and the benefits that it was giving to a lot of patients. Recently, the Philippine Statistics Authority released a list of the most causes of mortality. And this survey was done from January to June of 2021. And obviously this was part still of the pandemic. The usual diseases that would be the top cause of mortality. The first one, of course, is ischemic heart diseases. The heart is always a problem, number one problem everywhere, even in the US. The second one is, of course, the cerebrovascular diseases, the strokes and all of that. And then the third one, neoplasms, okay, tumors. And cancers, you can have that. And the fourth, diabetes. Everywhere diabetes is top 5 always, wherever. But in the Philippines, it's number 4. And this time around, the fifth is COVID, would you believe? And COVID, number 5, is identified COVID, meaning it was tested positive COVID, because number 6 is hypertension. Numbers, again, 7 is pneumonia. But pneumonias, obviously, during this 2021-2020 COVID yan, no? And then the next number before the 10th, to round up the 10th, is also COVID. But it was not identified, presumed to be COVID, because all symptoms pointed to COVID now. So obviously, the challenges, health challenges that I mentioned, very much prevalent in the Philippines, that caused deaths. Nakakalungkot, no? And it's really saddening, lamentable that these are preventable. Preventable, but obviously being a third world country, unlike first world countries where they have socialized medicine and you don't spend a lot, you just go to the hospital and you get treatments for free. In the Philippines, it's not the case. We all know that. It's very expensive to get sick. When you get sick, whatever savings you have to choose the hospital whether it's a primary, secondary, or a tertiary hospital. Of course, when you have a primary or secondary hospital, you don't have all the ancillary devices that are needed to treat your problem, your health problem. And this is where the problem lies. Being a third world country, income is not as high as others. And therefore, what savings you have will just be enough for your day-to-day. When you get sick and you need to pay the hospital and you don't have money, what happens now? You cannot do anything about it. This, in fact, becomes now a problem where how can I prevent this from happening? And indeed, as I have been mentioning in my presentations, in my lectures, if you do not eat the right food as your medicine, then in the future, you will be eating medicine as your food. Meaning to say, you eat the right food, nutrition, etc., and lifestyle. But how can you enforce this to people who do not have the means to buy your right food, the right supplement? And therefore, when you get sick, it's super expensive. When it's super expensive, others cannot do anything. But for those who can afford, even if you get a very unusual, a rare disease, doesn't have a treatment available in the Philippines, they can go out of the country, travel, spend for their transportation, spend for where they're going to stay in Europe, and even undergo the rarest treatment, stem cell therapy, which are available in Europe. In Asia, it is available, but only in first world countries like in Korea. When you do this, they come back and they are able to extend their lives, give more quality to the years that they have left. And this is not the same in the Philippines. There is not equal opportunities, okay, because you do not have that millions that others can spend, for celebrities can spend, the rich can avail of. And I think this is the reason why I'm so glad and very grateful that not only me, but all of us should be grateful that GFOC has provided us with a very nice product, premium product, a very affordable product that gives us the opportunity to be at par with those who can afford and those who can have a stem cell treatment abroad. This is, I would say, the equalizer for all. And this particular product, Elixir Placenta, making it available to everybody, has indeed a place in the therapeutic armamentarium of not only doctors, but even lay people who would know that it's now available and can avail of this. And it's not as expensive. Immediately, you will see the results once you start taking it. We hope that the causes of the top mortality cases in the Philippines will not be as prevalent as what we had last year. Elixir Placenta is a premium product. Why? It has three methods or three ways in which it can help any patient at any level of his disease problem, like from prophylaxis or prevention to during the disease itself and post during the convalescent stage. The three methods by which it acts are: the first, the stem cell therapy. It has a DNA therapy, and of course the last one is the anti-inflammatory therapy. Not all or stem cell therapies available in the market have these three types of ways by which it can help end users. Besides that, the raw materials of this product, Elixir Placenta, have been sourced from premium countries. Not just any country getting the raw materials, but from premium countries like Germany, South Korea, you have Portugal, you have Taiwan, and of course the deer placenta itself from New Zealand. So basically, you have a product with premium raw materials coming from top-notch countries who provide the raw materials. Very effective and worth the money that you pay for. And most of all, I will not be endorsing this product if this were not approved by the FDA. What is a stem cell therapy? Well, as we age, we start to lose stem cells. Studies show that at age 35 years old, we barely have 50% of our stem cells that we had when we were born. And at age 60 years old, the start of senior citizens, 95% of our stem cells are gone. So we are left with 5% of our stem cells. And we know for a fact that when we age and we start to lose stem cells, our capacity to heal, to repair our damaged cells become less and less. There's a saying that when you age, you lose a lot of your stem cells. When you lose a lot of your stem cells, it's more difficult for you to recover from your illnesses. Healing would be more difficult. This is it. Now the question is, then how do we get it? This is where stem cell therapy comes in. Now, having said that, stem cell therapy is a unique way of recovering these stem cells that you lost. It's a method, it's a way by which you regenerate, you repair damaged cells and introduce new, younger cells, to help you in the next years to come, and therefore increases your immune system, helps your immune system. It prolongs the life of your cells, basically, and of course, the quality of life beyond your 60 years that you lived going to your sunset years. So this is the stem cell therapy. And so comes Elixir Placenta. Does Elixir Placenta have the qualities or the active ingredients that I have mentioned? Of course, the first most important active ingredient of Elixir Placenta is, of course, the stem cell part. That is what we're so proud about this product, because the deer placenta, where we source this, coming from New Zealand, a very pristine environment to pollution-free deer placenta, have this particular stem cells that is very much similar to human placenta, which contains a lot of stem cells, of course. Having all these qualities of the human placenta, then it will give us the benefits that we expect from stem cells, including main components of polysaccharides, amino acids, and also, aside from that, it has two main components. Specifically, I'm talking about rhodiola and, of course, Angelica sinensis, giving more oxygen supply to our kidneys, liver, vital organs, and of course, Angelica sinensis, which helps in being a medium or vehicle to bring these ingredients, active ingredients, to our body and introducing it into our cells. Well, basically, the term activated is used in this particular setting where when you take Elixir Placenta, it is packed premiumly in a very unique process by which the ingredients are or cannot be deactivated by the gastric enzymes, gastric acids, when it passes through the stomach. And to make sure that it is protected, it travels beyond the gastric mucosa and goes to the small intestine, where the capsule that insulates the active ingredients is released. And these active ingredients now are activated. And these active ingredients, the 14 premium ingredients in Elixir Placenta, will now take effect. And positive benefits that we are expecting from these premium ingredients. DNA therapy, what you take in, what food you take in, will not change your DNA sequence. It will not. But the diet that you have will have a profound effect on how you express certain possibilities of what is encoded in your DNA. Or simply saying that anything that you take in, you eat, food or supplements that you take, will change, turn on or turn off genetic markers that will have a profound effect on the outcomes, health outcomes, which could either be even life or death. Like, for example, if you have hereditary problems, hereditary disease like diabetes, you definitely will have it if your parents have it. But the diet that you take will tell you a lot about it. It can turn on or off these genetic markers, specifically talking about sugar. You take a lot of sugar, then you get your diabetes early. You inhale or take a lot of nicotine, smoking, then you get your lung cancer. Elixir Placenta has a DNA therapy way of treating diseases, meaning it has 4 ingredients that make sure that DNA therapy is indeed part of Elixir Placenta. These are your grape olive extract, your medium chain triglycerides, your NMN or nicotinamide mononucleotide, and D-ribose. The 4 of them affects telomeres of our cells. Mitosis or cell division in life when we have regularly, we have cell division, or we call mitosis. Cells subdivide. When they divide, they get shorter and shorter. The telomeres, or that part of the cell, chromosomes that is cut off during cell division, gets shorter and shorter and shorter. And studies show that these cells last for 60 cell divisions, meaning to say that 60 years old, and that's it. After that, you're left with less and less cells to divide. And these 4 ingredients present in Elixir Placenta provides telomerase, which is an enzyme that protects the telomeres from shortening. And indeed, it lengthens their life of chromosomes inside the cells, and therefore prolongs cell life and gives us more quality beyond the 60 years of our life. This is present in Elixir Placenta. This is the beauty of telomerase, because you don't find it in most stem cell therapy medications. And it was recently discovered by researchers that telomerase indeed helps the integrity of the cells and keeps it more durable from dividing cell division, and gives it more life. And a lot of those who lived up to 90s, even to 100, who lived for 100 years. There's an island in Japan that has these centenarians, noted their telomerase, their cells were elongated, only to tell us that indeed telomerase, which is present in their Japanese diet, helped prolong the cell life and, of course, give them the 100 years of life. Don't you even would like to have this benefit from Elixir Placenta's telomerase activity to prolong our life? Give us more quality, not only prolonging our life. This is the beauty of DNA therapy that is present in Elixir Placenta. Having this is indeed separates Elixir Placenta from other stem cell preparation in the market. Well, anti-inflammatory therapy in Elixir Placenta, which is the last of the 3 therapies that you find in Elixir Placenta, is made sure by having 7 ingredients, very much helping in fighting inflammation. The basics of inflammation are 4. In Latin, we call them rubor, or redness, dolor, or pain, calor, or the heat, and tumor. The 4 principles of inflammation. When you have inflammation, you have a release of histamines, you have a release of prostaglandin, and this will cause the following 4 basic things that you look for in inflammation. But with the anti-inflammatory therapy, the 7 ingredients that is available, or present active ingredients in Elixir Placenta, they will protect these areas to avoid causing more inflammation, less swelling, less redness, less heat, and less pain. These anti-inflammatory ingredients, active ingredients, will now block what I mentioned earlier, prostaglandins, the histamines that causes inflammation, and therefore lessen the impact of the inflammation on the patient. And furthermore, there are studies ongoing that even these 7 ingredients have been known to regress or limit the progress of cancer. And studies are being done at the moment, which could help in the control and the further metastasis of certain cancers. How will Elixir Placenta change people's lives? I'm talking of the aspect of diseases where you have prevention as a very basic part of a disease control, and then the disease itself, and post-disease or convalescing stage. In these 3 stages of a disease, Elixir Placenta can help a lot. Prevention, because it helps your immune system, it strengthens it, and therefore attacks from different organisms that cause diseases will be prevented. And disease part, when you get the disease, you don't get to have a severe problem. It is mild or at the most moderate. And of course, convalescing stage, when you are recovering, convalescing or recovery stage or period is shortened. But one more very important matter that I'd like to say here is Elixir Placenta made it available to those who cannot afford to get stem cell therapy abroad, those who don't have millions to squander or to pay for their stem cell therapy. This is available in this capsule at this specific amount, which is a fraction of what millionaires can afford. afford. It has become a game changer. It has become an equalizer because GFAX has made this available to our consumers to start taking them and then preventing possible health problems in the future. This, I believe, has changed lives of our Filipinas.